What's up, what's up? At last, the big day when we start to bung things together. So, I am going to start here and then go over to the engine stand. But what we're going to explain is all Honda cases are marked A, B or C. Some of them may have no marks at all. If you've got one of those, you're having a bad day. But anyway, I've got a B. Now the bearings I took out of this one were marked black. It's very difficult to see now, but the actual paint mark is on the edge of the bearing. Not easy at all to see. Now this is the bearing insertion tool, which I've already inserted the bearings into. I've now got to screw them into the case. Now what we're doing here is there's an arrow there and an arrow there and a dot there. The dot is where the oil comes in. That was the pack of pow I had for breakfast. Anyway, the oil comes in through there. There's a choice of oil holes in here which must line up with the oil way. So there's my oil hole, there's my dot, there's my arrow, there's a marked slot, and an arrow, and that's where the edges of the bearing line up. Now, having got all that lot wonderfully right there, we are now going to use various tools. It's a little bit small, that. Press them out all right. Have I got the right one? I was just going to double check I got the right one a minute. You never know. Right, the light's terrible over there, so we're going to do it from here. Right. Basically now, we very slowly and carefully draw. Go on, lock off onto there. Now these bearings are going to be drawn in 2 millimeters from the end. They're quite tight. And what you're going to have to do, drop the tool off every now and again and just have a little look in there. I think what I did last time was I put a mark on this puller, but I don't have that mark this time. So we're just going to have to do it, check, do it, check, do it, check. Just pull them, oops, home. Flies, piss off. It's a lovely day. Pulling bearings. Right, I'll just pause that while we get to where we need to be. Right, basically when the bearing goes right in, your tool will suddenly become loose and fall off, although you'll still be pulling the bearing in. And you'll know when you've got it right because the hole there will line up perfectly straight down the back, and just inside there between the outer lip and the shell is roughly a 2 millimeter gap. So all you've got to do now is do that on the other side. And here's the other side in super close-up vision. So I got the other pair of bearings, started them in the hole ever so slightly, and a little push. Right, we can now go to put them in. Just trying to think which is going to be the... I'm going to try and push them in. Forgot to lube the casing. I'm going to try and push them in from halfway out. Just see if it doesn't make the process a little bit easier. So let's get on. Yeah, it's a little bit. Nah, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So forget what I just did then, because you didn't see that. So what I am going to do now is nip over and just seat these home all the way. If I can find the... Right, I'm on the pool on the other side now. So basically slowly draw these in, and as I learned from the other side, when it's in, the tool falls off. But I'm going to check it anyway, because we don't want any problems. Right, okay, it's just starting to go home now. Just feels that little bit tighter as it starts to go into the case. So keep everything squared up. Nice feeling this, dragging them in, because it feels like you're doing loads of damage. I can see the cameras wobbling around everywhere, but that's because we're only using a plywood bench. So if you get seasick easily, I am sorry about that. Thing around. And like I did in the beginning, ask Honda about how you're supposed to do this job, and they told me they don't change bearings when they fit cranks, because the bearings don't turn easily afterwards. Oops. Fantastic. Right, I can see this bearing from this side, which is why I haven't checked from the other side yet. But I'm gonna do a check right now, just to see what's going on. And I would say on there. Yeah, I'm there, first time. So that's your bearings in. And what we need to do now, really, is to pop the crank in and just try the cases together. Make sure it's all free. Right, left side's in, spinning okay. Right side. Check, check, check. Oh, can't put the right one in because I've still got my studs. And cut. Made a mess of this, didn't I, eh? Oh well, no one watches these anyway. And while we were doing that, I managed to knock the phone holder straight off the bench and the phone landed on the floor. Normally the video ends there, but we're still going, so let's try and finish off what I was doing before I had a bit of a brain fart. Right, this stud arrangement the way the studs are holding the engine mount, the cases aren't lining up. I've got to, oh that's silly, that is silly. I shouldn't have to do that. Oh lordy lordy. Right, watch out, big bang. There we go. Now that's actually made it worse. Right, give up. What's actually happening is these two aren't straight. And that's stopping the crank from lining up. I'll try it one more time and I'll just abandon the video and say F it. I might as well say F it now, looking at that. Ah, there we go. There, that's what we wanted. Alright, everything's snapped together. Now, really, you should bolt the crankcase up and get it under load. But for the purposes of this, we want to check the crank spins, which it does. It will spin better once the 2 hours have been torqued together. And that's what we were looking for. So really, that'll do. See you on the next part when I put the gearbox in.